Hey everybody, Randall Cornett here. Hope you guys all had a great day. I know I did. I'm absolutely, no, I'm just kidding with you guys. I'm jacked to the tits though. We hit $16 today. Okay. And we broke through that threshold, that 1450 that we were all talking about, and we smashed through it. And like we predicted, I mean, we went on a run. We're seeing some pretty good action in the after hours too. Currently sitting at $16.16. I wanted to make this video to focus on something a little bit different. We don't talk a whole lot about this, but we're going to talk about the options chain and how what I'm seeing right now is a lot of actual bullish sentiment, and how I think that these guys are, by following the money, we're going to see some really nasty growth very shortly in the future. So one thing I'll say right off the bat, if we're looking at the most active calls for today, all right, AMC sits at number 2 out of all securities, right, with 166 calls that are basically, out the money, sitting at $4.69 million in value. So we're looking super strong there. And according to Flow Algo, we're sitting at 100%. The flow is at 100% bullish. So what that means is basically Flow Algo tracks a lot of the big block purchases, okay, and even some of the dark pool stuff as well. You'll actually see the dark pool stuff highlighted in this kind of purple background. So what it does is it's a meter to dictate if institutional money is bullish or bearish. And so take it with a grain of salt, but understanding a lot of the buying pressure today was bullish buying pressure and buying option calls. We're looking very strong. I mean, I've never seen this. I've been watching Flow Algo for a long time now, 2 months, 3 months. Never seen it at the flow sentiment being at 100. So take that for what you will. But I put some value in that. It shows the institutional money is loading up to hopefully ride this to the moon with us. So moving past the Flow Algo, we can come and look at the options chain here. Before we get into that, though, one thing I do want to highlight, if you look over here to the right, we had at 11:22 p.m., this is Pacific Standard Time, we had a big block purchase, 575,700 shares at $15. So they actually bought this up while we were running, which is nice to see. I mean, this is $8.6 million worth of shares. That's a very large position. So we should be happy about that. Again, following the money. So moving on to the options chain, and I'm actually going to highlight the negative thing first, which is actually really not a negative. But so usually when you're looking at this screen, or when you see gold, that's usually a strong indicator, especially if it's a call, that there is some big money going behind a long position that really believes, like they have a lot of conviction. Because if you look at the actual the way that open interest works on this, right? So this order by itself, the reason why it's yellow, sorry, I kind of got sidetracked right there. The reason why it's yellow is because this order by itself exceeded the entire open interest for this contract, right? So this 528, $15.50 put, this order exceeded the whole entire open interest, which is 200. It's got to be under 294, because if this exceeded it, it's under that threshold, or else this wouldn't be yellow. So why that's important, and why I even mention a put, is that little of open interest is not even that big of an order. This is kind of a baby order. And that's still, above $15, right? So this person's not taking a whole lot of risk. They're not saying we're going to drop down and putting, $10 puts, $12 puts. I think this is a good show that they believe that we're still going to stay in this area that we're in. But in fact, the other options, like the calls, actually tell a different story. So what yellow is? Yellow means that you exceeded the open interest with just that one order. Purple means the open interest has been exceeded for that contract as well, but it was filled through multiple orders. So it wasn't done with just one purchase, right? And so what's important about this is, if you look, so you could see here these close right before this specific order. If we're looking at this top one, closed right at 12:59 Pacific Standard Time. So this is 1 minute before the market close. So they bought a call when the price at $14.50 is the strike price. It's already in the money, right? And so the price of the stock was $16.40 when they purchased it. But what's important, you see these identifiers, this AA, this A. So when there's an AA at the end of this spread number, that means they purchased it above the asking price, which is usually an indicator that this person is like it was like an impulse purchase. Like I'm okay with paying more because I need you guys just to fill the order. So I'll pay a higher price if that's going to mean that you guys are going to fill the orders even quicker. And so a sweep means that they will actually attack this order in a fashion where they're going and getting it filled from multiple exchanges. Again, kind of going into this at ask, that whole mantra. You're trying to fill the order as quick as possible. So you're paying above the price, the asking price, and you're also filling it from as many exchanges as you can to quickly fill the order. So really important to know. And I think that you guys will see here that if you look at this purple, in my mind, when I look at these screeners, it's a real good indicator of loading up positions. So if you constantly see purple, that means that it's already past the open interest and people are just adding more and more to their positions. So this shows a lot of bullish sentiment. And you can look here. So if we want to look at some of these, the values, let me see if I can go through and find one that's got, so there's 152,000 on this one right here. Okay. So, and this was a sweep and they asked it at the asking price, which is obviously they didn't rush to get it or else it would have been at the ask, but their order was filled. And so they again sweep this. So they went to multiple exchanges to get it, but we're looking at $152,000 in calls at 14. And that's just one. So this one right here, this white means that they don't really have, it didn't exceed the open interest. It didn't pass. So there's basically this order didn't exceed, nor has multiple orders caused it to exceed the open interest that is that's currently on this 618 $40 call. So let's just say we click on this. We can see this is all the stuff that was purchased today. This is not historical. It's just for today, right? But we actually had some pretty big volume here. It looks like, you know, some people came in and 12,000, 13,000, 10,000, 13,000 loading up on these $40 calls. Good to see. But I really want to highlight this purple because, again, it just shows that you're building positions. Usually when you see this, you're going to be building your position. And especially the majority of them are like above asking price. They're just filling up these orders as quickly as they can. So this should be a really good sign, guys, that because the options are going to are a big component of where we're going to. And I think that just gives you an idea of where people are thinking the stock's going to go. If you actually look at the 618 $24 strike price, this exceeded the open interest today with multiple orders too. So actually this one order almost did it by itself. Both of these combined actually is a better way to put it. But, you know, $20,000 in value, $15,000 in value. And so we can look through this whole entire option chain and just all day you're going to see sweep buys and you're going to see above asking price. So people rushing into their positions, right? And so I think that this is, again, something that you guys should pay attention to because these guys are betting that we are going to go up. And so with that being said, I'm just going to end the video here. I don't have I do have one more thing. If we look over here in AMC stock, we did get some, the Reddit, we actually getting some positive news today, right? So we actually went a little bit higher in this. I think at one point we were at plus 20%, but it's important to realize, like, even now I'm not paying attention to the price. Like, I'm just looking at if we're getting big jumps, obviously I'm looking at it, but I'm excited to see the pops where we're, you know, getting from $16 to something like $50 in the span of a couple hours. So that's really when I'll start paying. I think I'll get my eyes glued to the screen. So I hope you guys found this video pretty informative. Again, I'm going to be putting a lot more of my focus on basically the daily options chain. This is going to be showing a lot of this institutional money where they're kind of how they're purchasing their options. And you could see, I mean, it's just nothing but calls. If you look at the puts, they're all still compared to where we were last week. I mean, it's like a new floor is being established. Like the puts are in the $14 range. We've seen some last week that were like around $9. So, and again, all of these are being bought in blocks or sweeps, and the majority of them above asking price. So hope this continues to drive some confidence in you. I hope that you guys like and subscribe the channel if you guys found the content helpful. Also, everybody that showed me love when we did the interview with BAM Investor. Jim's a great guy, and I know a lot of you guys have went over there because he told me that you went over there, followed his Twitter, been hitting him up. I really appreciate that. I think we helped break him into the space, and I think he's going to reward us with some high level data. So again, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Love you long time. Peace.